Welcome to Sun and Moon Yoga's YouTube channel. I'm Annie Moyer, and today's short practice is about how to shoulder the change that is constantly upon us. I don't need to tell you that it seems like every day these days something big is happening. And the potential to get thrown by these big occurrences is pretty profound because we're human beings and we relate to the world. We live here, we are of this place, we are affected by its turnings, and it's critical for us to stay steady however and whenever we can. So, how? How do you do that? I mean, I don't know, but I have some ideas that I think are beneficial. And the idea is based on the wisdom that says, and I've said this so many times before, that what we perceive to be big changes and big events are small and impermanent relative to the longer nature of our existence and the existence of humanity on Earth. So it's so critical to take a long view, to pull back and say, okay, I'm going to wait and see, because I know that this is not the end of the story. This is not the whole story. This is not all that's happening. There's more that I can't see and that I don't know. And that doesn't mean that I don't respond responsibly and appropriately to moments as they arise, because those moments are what define our short-term existence. But what defines our long-term existence could be a steady, solid, grounded inner being and wise knowing in the heart. And that's what I hope that we can all find ways to cultivate. To feel this in the body, we're going to do some movements in what looks like arm movements, but really I'm going to invite you to have these movements happening from the shoulders, so that deep and subtle place that you can't necessarily immediately feel or immediately see is the thing that's driving the gestures and shapes we make with the arms. So that's what we'll explore together this morning for a short little while. Come and stand. And as you stand on, whether you're on a mat or just the ground, it doesn't really matter. But as you stand, first feel the feet on the surface below and lift and wiggle your toes. And then lift up off your heels and drop down, and then lift up one at a time off the mounds of the toes and put the feet back down, and then maybe lift the mounds of all 10 toes at the same time, a little balance challenge, then come up back onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. So and then maybe heel toe in and out a few times, just to play around with lifting away from the ground and then sinking back into it. And now bring your awareness to your arms, have them straight down by your sides, and activate your hands, spreading the fingers wide, but not rigid and hard wide, just a gentle, alive presence of energy through the fingertips. And with the palms facing in and then the palms facing forward, go in and out, palms in, palms forward. But instead of just doing it with the hands, imagine that you're doing it with your shoulders, and that it's your shoulders that's creating that rotation of the arms. And then you can turn maybe with the shoulders operating the arms to have the palms face all the way behind you and then all the way forward. So the movement is initiated from a more steady, more subtle, less visible place. deep back in between the shoulder blades. And next time you place the palm or turn the palms forward, keep them there and with an awareness that says that the movement is happening from your shoulders, deep in the shoulder blades. Raise your arms up, 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 up. Keep them up and then begin to bend at the elbows and bring the forearms so they're perpendicular to the floor and the upper arms are parallel to the floor. And now turn your palms to face each other, but it slows down when you imagine that it's happening from the shoulders because it is happening from the shoulders. And now take one forearm with the palm facing in and turn it so it faces down toward the floor. So now the forearm is parallel to the floor, palm facing down. Lift it up, do the other one, lift it up. And now one at a time, take them out to the side. So your shoulders might decide that your forearms only go a certain angle. They might not go all the way out. Mine don't go all the way out to be parallel to the ground. They're just moving in that direction. So one at a time, and then raise the arms from the shoulders, and then all the way back down. And let's do that again. Inhale as the arms come up, moving from the shoulders. Bend the elbows, take the forearms so they're perpendicular, upper arms parallel to the floor. One at a time, turn the forearms down and up and down and up. And all this time, we're thinking shoulders are doing this, shoulders are doing this. It's not just the wavy, showy thing that we see, but it's it's a power that's happening from a darker, not dark in the bad sense, but more subtle, less visible place. One more time, same thing. Arms up, and then bend the elbows, and then turn forearms down one at a time, operating from the shoulders. And of course, it doesn't mean that the rest of the arm isn't moving because obviously it is. And it's just like to say it doesn't mean that these events that are triggering us aren't happening because of course they are. It's to say there's more to the story. There's a more subtle, deeper place that we can operate and respond from. Okay, good. Now shake out your arms and now take the feet wide apart. And bring your heels in a little bit so that your feet are out at a certain angle. And then bend the knees and sink the pelvis level to the floor down. So knees and thighs are wide. And now take your arms out wide and all the way up. And now bend the elbows, take them out wide, bending at 90 degrees, palms facing in toward each other. And one at a time, bring the arm in and bring it out. So the elbow stays bent the whole time, in and out. And then open the arms wide. Take them up as you straighten up the legs. And here, fold forward all the way down, keeping the knees straight. And when you get down, you can separate the heels apart so the feet go again parallel to each other. And here, inhale, lift up part way. Let the heart rise up and turn toward the space in front of you. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come all the way up. Take the arms out wide and up high and bring the heels in a little bit so the feet are turned out. And on an exhale, bend the knees. Wait for another inhale. On an exhale, bend the elbows, take them out wide. Now, one at a time, moving from your shoulders deep to the spine. Bring one arm forward and out, and the other one forward and out. And then take the arms out wide and together, and do that one more time, wide and together. And then inhale, straighten legs, straighten arms, reach up. Deep breath in, exhale, fold forward, and then separate the heels so the feet are parallel. Hang down and breathe. These movements are intended to be simple and easy and patient because So much else in life is not simple or easy right now, and patience is so hard to find for the bigger stuff. So find it for the smaller stuff. Heels in. One more time. Elbows bent, knees bent, one at a time. Arm forward, arm out, arm forward, arm out. Straighten out the arms, and then lift them up, straighten the legs. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold, separate the heels, and release. Hang the head, breathe the breath. And now from here, step the feet together and come down onto your hands and knees. You can put some padding under the knees. And walk your hands one handprint forward. And on an exhale, drop your drop your hips back towards your heels and let the forehead and jaw release down. And now inhale, come back up through what you might feel like is a table pose, and then rolling over the knees, let the pelvis drop toward the floor. Lift your shoulders up and bring them back and wide. Lift the heart forward. So it's a high, straight-armed cobra with the pelvis likely floating above the ground. And then back and forth like that. Now turn your awareness, now that you've got the movement pretty set, turn your awareness to your shoulders and see if you can cultivate an experience that suggests all this movement is getting operated from deep in your shoulder blades. And so I'm not specifying where, I'm saying deep in the shoulder blades, but that's relative to how you feel in your body. It might be that you feel it just on the outer upper arm, and that's the place that feels like it's serving the power to the rest of the movement. You might feel like it's closer to the spine, inside the shoulder blades, or underneath them, like back wings of the heart. So there isn't one place or one specific answer. One more time, back and forth. Make sure that when you come forward, the lower back is free and comfortable. So a little tone in the belly can help, and making sure you don't sink the pelvis down too far. And then next time you come forward, pause and drop onto your elbows. And with the elbows on the ground, do the movement that we did before standing. So bringing one forearm in and turning it parallel to the front, then opening the forearm forward. And then the other one, turning it in and turning it forward. Now turning one out. That might not go very far. Mine's only going about, I don't know what this is, 30 degrees, if that. And then back. And then in and out, and out, and back to center. And then from here, stretch back toward this child's pose shape. And then again, come forward into the high cobra, pelvis floating above the ground, shoulders up and back, heart forward. And now from here, tuck your toes, lift up, come to downward facing dog. Nice long stretch, nice deep breath. And from dog pose, moving from the shoulders, take the body forward into a straight-ish line for a sort of a plank. And I say sort of because there's a range here that's possible. Your plank might have some curves or some angles. It might not be totally straight, and that's fine. And then one more time back and forth from dog to plank. And then bring the knees down. And then this time, find out where your hands are and put your elbows there. So elbows are where the hands were. So there's a wider distance between your knees and your elbows. And now from here, turn one forearm in and then the other one. So they're both turned in now, both forearms parallel to the front. Press back with your hips, feeling the movement in the shoulders. Come forward as far as you can. Maybe shift the knees back a little bit and then lift the heart. Take the shoulders wide and back. And then tuck the toes, bring the knees in a little bit, shift back and forward. Pelvis coming down, heart lifting up. Now from here, undo your arm or forearms, point forward, shift back, hips back, and now put the other forearm in front. So hips down. See if you can remember which one went in first. Turn the other one in this time. Good. Shift hips back. And then shift knees back as the hips go forward. Heart comes up, shoulders back. Stay here for now. Point the toes back and open up the forearms as wide as they'll go. And now from here, with the forearms turning out, palms wide on the ground, lift up the elbows and breathe. Shoulders wide and back, heart high and forward. And then elbows down, forearms forward. Tuck your toes, shift your knees forward, press back, walk your hands back, and come to an easy child's pose. A deep breath, an easy space inside. And now flip over onto your back. So come all the way onto the back, pull the knees in for a moment, swivel them around, and then bring your feet to the floor. And now with a feeling of the shoulder blades pressing firmly into the ground, activate your arms out by your sides and inhale, reach them up, take them back. And then exhale, bring the arms so they're pointing straight up to the ceiling. Bend one elbow, bring the forearm in, bring the other forearm in. Take the bent arms, reach them back behind you, and then bring them right back up so they're pointing to the ceiling. Open up the forearms, but keep the elbows bent and then open them wide. Forearms opening wide. Breathing. Bring them back up. Elbows are bent. And now straighten up the arms. Inhale, take them all the way back behind you. And exhale all the way down to the floor. We're going to repeat that again as we feel the shoulder blades rooting down, anchoring us firmly. And from that strong anchored place, operating this movement of the arms. So they come up, we exhale, point them to the ceiling, then bend the elbows, and then turn one forearm down and the other forearm down. And then take the bent elbows up behind and then back. Now open up the forearms with bent elbows. Let them go as far out as they're willing, moving from the shoulders. And then turn them back up. Inhale, straighten the arms, take them up overhead. And exhale, bring them right back down. One more time, same thing. Inhale, arms all the way back. Exhale so they point to the ceiling. Maybe you can nudgle the shoulders into the ground a little more firmly, and it might feel nice, like a little muscle rub. And then bend the elbows, turn one forearm in and the other. Raise the bent arms overhead and bring them back. Continuing to notice the breath as you move from that deep place in the shoulders. Forearms back up. Inhale, straighten the arms, take them up overhead. Exhale, bring them all the way back down. And then pause here and breathe. And then pull the knees into the chest and swizzle them around again a few times. And then bring the feet to the floor, plant the shoulders again, plant the feet, and inhale, raise the hips up into an easy bridge pose. Breathe. And you might find some space underneath your back to move your arms closer to each other. Maybe the fingertips find each other and lace. And at this point, you might feel like you can roll further onto the outer upper arm by bringing the shoulder blades closer to the spine. Planting into the feet, rising up high, breathing in deep. Stay here for a few more breaths. And then release. And slowly, slowly return the spine to the ground. And then pause for a moment and take the knees from side to side, a gentle rocking movement. And then roll all the way over onto one side. Come up to sit. Cross the legs comfortably. Take the arms out. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, bend the elbows. So same movement. Turn them in. Open them up. Offer them out. Bring them up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, arms down. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, elbows bend at 90 degrees. See if you can bring the other forearm down first if you remember, or you can just feel it. Up and open. As you do this seated, it might be interesting to notice if the rest of the spine is trying to help you, and see if you can really locate specifically that the movement can happen from the shoulders. The rest of the body can be still and in an alert state of wise witness. And then back up and down. One more time. Reach up. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Elbows bend. Turn the forearms in. Keep the rest of the body stable. Keep the movements happening from the shoulders. Back up. Inhale. Nice long reach for the last one. And then exhale. Float the arms down softly, easily, gently, sweetly. And then just pause for some stillness and some breath awareness, and maybe some doggy pets. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon.